I think like hydration breaks in that area is good. What's up, YouTube? We're gonna react to our soccer players or football players that from Europe. I'm saying football players, the most the fittest players, fittest athletes in the world. We will see. We're gonna react this YouTube video. I hope you like it. Let's go.
Soccer's really hard. Seriously, there's something about soccer that makes it harder than almost any other sport.
I think it's the hardest sport because like in 2 hours you run like crazy much. So it's like and it's like the thing with football is like there are like many aspects of it. It's like you need to run like really much. You need to do like fast runs and like more slow runs, and you need to do fast runs, and like it's switching everything. And like I think it's like you crucial the condition with your like muscles and like your mentally is really hard on in football. I don't know other sports, but I think football is the top. That's my opinion before this YouTube video. Let's go.
For me, soccer is, if not the most chaotic sport in the world, it is definitely one of the most chaotic sports.
You've got an enormous requirement of endurance. You might have to do a maximum sprint in the first. And
that's the thing I said. You need to do slow runs and fast runs, and you need to switch it up, like, you know what I mean?
And also in the 90th minute. So it's definitely on the list of hardest sports.
It definitely takes 2 to 3 days to fully recover, but throughout the season, I don't think there's ever been a moment in my 5 years of playing professionally where I've been 100%. It turns out training for soccer is really complicated.
Right now, I wanted to see exactly what makes training for soccer so hard. So I came to a practice with Brooklyn FC, a US Division II professional soccer team, to try a few drills for myself and see exactly how you train for such a chaotic sport.
Okay, I don't know about like football in America. I don't know what's the level of football quality there and how much do they in the elites of like La Liga and like Premier League. The condition they run at, the like how much like the what you call it like mentally and physically you need to like be really fit for before a season, you know what I mean? So you can see on like FC Barcelona's channel, you can see how much they run, and they run like many other like weird runs, like they run like in cones, and like they run fast runs, slow runs. It's like, and I don't know how they and play runs when you play and run, you know what I mean? So it's like
So
crazy.
Michael lent me these boots.
Oh, that's a good boot.
I'm kind of nervous.
Specifically, the team's head of performance is going to give me some drills designed for a forward.
I tried to design a drill which involves a little bit of technical work, where you have to be clean with your feet whilst doing lateral movements. Then once you receive the ball into space, a forward player will often try and navigate past defenders, so the poles give you that control. You have to keep the ball close to you whilst also traveling forward, which is...
And I think, like, if I compare football and basketball, you're more like technical with your hands because it's more control. But with feet, you have so much like stability, and you need to have so much footwork. You don't need, because something with basketball is that you need footwork and handwork to do with your hands. But in football, it's so basic too. You need to just use your feet and like, you know what I mean? And that's the thing about football, because when you don't have the ball, you need to have like the defense, like you need to have some mentally, you know what I mean? Like you need to know where the ball is, and like that's the most crucial thing. With you need to know how you move without the ball, and how you're gonna move when you have the ball, and where your player is gonna be, and like, you know what I mean? In basketball, it's like I'm compared just because, but in basketball you need to do screens and like that. In basketball you need like it's so much pauses. In football you play in 90 minutes, and then you play in like 45 minutes first, and then you like being like you just go in and like being like take a break for like I don't know how long is it, like 20 minutes to like 50 minutes, and you're back again, and you need to play like I don't know 30 minutes more, and then you out, and you're gonna do that like you play like Monday, and you train 3 days, and you play again the 4th day, you know what I mean? It's like different gravy, you know what I mean? So that's the thing about talking about football, it's like hurting your knees and everything like that. And like for elites, you need to be like really like the thing you need to be more careful about. It's not about like it's like to be not working your body too much, you know what I mean? You need to be smart with you need to eat good and everything like that. It's in every sport, but I think in football it's really crucial that your balance is good, so your sleep is good, you know what I mean?
And just for a bit of fun, we threw in a recovery run back to halfway.
Can you hear how hard I'm breathing? So that's just like one part of the game.
That is a quite typical movement style that you'd find a forward doing. And to think that they have to do that randomly within a 45-minute period it's very, very tough.
So in a lot of sports, the physical demands are relatively consistent, but soccer does it all at once.
The first and maybe most obvious part of this is the endurance.
You've got to move constantly based on what other people are doing for an extended period of time, and that's really, really challenging, especially for 90 minutes.
And unlike many other sports, or at least other North American sports, soccer players get almost no rest during a game.
Yeah, that is pretty unique. It's a 90-minute game, one stoppage in between, 15-minute break. For the most part, guys are running 12,000 to 13,000 meters a game.
That's the one thing I learned now when it was World Cup. That is like the hydration breaks they have. Many have done they said no, that's not good because you think about the commercial things and everything like that. But I think when it's too hot outside and too warm and like really like humid and like that, I think like hydration breaks in that area is good for the players and to the tactics and everything. But some bad things about it is like if a team have good possession, have a good like momentum in the match, and then you need to have a hydration break, then the momentum is like gone. You know what I mean? And that's like a crucial thing about football. You need to have in the play, you have like momentum switches. So some minutes the team have the momentum, so the other team have the momentum. When you have a momentum, you have a higher what you call it, odds to do a goal and like you know what I mean and play good. So it's when you have some hydration break, that's like that the time the hydration break can do like the what you call it, the momentum switching, you know what I mean? So that's not good for one of the teams. So like it's the hydration breaks and breaks in like a match is, I think, is a good, you have a good like idea, but in times when it's cold and like it's not so warm, I don't think hydration breaks need, you know what I mean? So that's it. But I think that's a good thing we can think about when it's so warm in like Italian and like in Spain there it's really warm sometimes. Then it's good to have water breaks. And that's the crucial thing when you have sometimes what you call it, you're so tired and like that, and you need to perform, you know what I mean? So think about this, you're tired and you need to perform to do like, I don't know, your head need to be like clear to like take this ball, send it to the other side and take a run at the goal and know where the ball's coming and like do a good goal, you know what I mean?
But it is important to have that core strength, that upper body strength, because a lot of it as well is, you know, you're in duels, you're using your upper body to try and win the ball or shield the ball or whatever that may be.
Playing soccer is kind of like playing basketball and long distance running at the same time.
According to Chris Barnes, over the course of 90 minutes, players spend roughly 60 to 75% of their time jogging or walking. They spend 10 to 20% running at a medium speed, 6 to 15% high-speed running, and only around 1 to 3% of the game in an all-out sprint. But that could happen at any time.
Having to go as hard as you can for such a long period, whilst also having to suddenly stop and then do a complete change of direction and then go again as hard as you can. All these physical requirements are really, really unique for football, especially because the field's so large.
And it's really hard to plan for exactly what will happen during a game. So on top of all of this running, when the players are exhausted, they have to make split-second decisions. Because soccer is...
That thing I talked about, like the split decisions, and like the you need to know what you need to do in like every situation when you are in the pitch, you know what I mean? So yeah.
like a race. It's never as simple as A to B.
Let's look at that 90-minute match again. In order to prepare players for the unpredictable chaos of an entire match, trainers break down the game into smaller pieces, and then players train on each of those smaller components of the game.
If you can kind of cut and paste the really hard periods of a game and then extract the same physical demands into a training session, you're able to then push the hardest parts a little bit more.
Which is why Steph is so exhausted after a practice.
Today's a Wednesday, 4 days before a game.
Okay, so they know in these situations players are really like crucial. It's like crucial to be good mentally and like be good conditional, like be good in the how much they can run and like that. So they train to every situation. So and in the match you can do that in the best, highest level. I think they talked about something like that.
Just really push us. Yeah, I would say this kind of replicates like a game.
Michael's able to know exactly how hard to push the players in practice by using GPS monitors.
So the player's able to use GPS units. You can see the demands of each drill for a certain period of time. You can see constantly there are all these spikes, and that is the time in which that player is having to explode into space. And then that helps guide me whether we've pushed too hard, whether we're not pushing hard enough, whether one person's having a holiday and the other person's working. So rather than just constantly scanning the field, I've got numbers in front of me that help guide decisions.
And at the same time, Michael isn't doing the exact same thing for every player.
My job is about trying to push super strengths. So the players have elements that they're incredibly good at, and that's why they're professional athletes. If we were to try and push that down and say, well, this guy might be unbelievably fast, but let's make him slightly slower and fitter, that doesn't really fit the narrative of why
do they know about
So they
their
develop
like
specific plans to
physically,
highlight
you
and
know what I mean?
boost what
Not
makes a
just
player
about
great.
their like
Explosive power
condition.
is something that I've been working on more so throughout my career. I
Because
feel like
one thing that is like really like is like in football is like you don't sometimes you don't know if a player can hold so long and like be in the same quality, because every day can be different. Some day you can hold the same level, other day you cannot hold the same level. And when you don't hold the same level, then it's like maybe your body is not too like they have like work it too much, and then they do the things can maybe happen that like you can injure yourself. And that's the harder thing about football, that the hamstring injuries and like that, they cannot predict that, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. People have like been like critiqued football matches because they have played too much. They played too much. Like first they need to do like the original season, and then you're gonna have a national season. Like you need to go to the national team, and then you're gonna go back. You don't have like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of break, and you need to go back and do the same thing, and more matches and more cups and everything like that. Like I think football players are like, they demand really much about them. You know, basketball, they have like
I'm pretty fit.
they have
I
like,
can
you know what I mean?
run.
Basketball, you have a season, and then when the season is done, you don't have, maybe you go to the national and you can choose you don't want to go to the national or not. And like it's like just, and like in America it's like in basketball you have sometimes the best player can be go to the bench and like just be a whole of the match of the basketball match just in the bench, because they don't need him, because they play against some team who they don't know, they are weak, and you know what I mean? And like in football, every match is a crucial match in the season, because you need the points, because you can go down to other leagues, you know, go down in league, you know what I mean? And basketball, if you don't have a good season, one season, you don't go down. You can be in your like in NBA every season, you know what I mean? Every team is like have a place, you know, you cannot go down, and that's like you don't have the same pressure on yourself, you know what I mean? I think you don't have the demand on the player, and like, you know what I mean? So I think in football you have so much pressure, and the mentality part is really like different, because if you don't do a good match or a good season, your team can go down, and that's like a good like a I don't know, it's like really, and you see your career can be done, you know what I mean? And in the NBA you sign the contract, and then you good. If you don't play good, you go to the other team that's not so good, but you play like you play in the NBA, you know what I mean? You know, like it's like stampled that you're gonna play in the NBA. That's my feeling, you know what I mean?
Combining that explosiveness in those moments where it's required.
On top of all that, when it comes to the World Cup, things get even harder.
Once we get to the knockout stages of those games, if the scores are tied after 90, then they'll
The
play an
extra
extra
time.
30 minutes. So it could be a 120
So
minute
30
game
minutes
as well.
more.
The players also get less rest between matches.
In a World Cup, you'll get 3 or 4 days between games. So
You see it here. You need to play like 90 minutes, and then you need to play, if it's like 0-0 or 1-1, you need to play like the what you call it, injured time. And then if you don't nobody do a goal in the injured time in the World Cup, in like the what you call it, in the semifinals and everything like that, you need to play 30 minutes extra. You hear it there. It's crazy. How do you think a player can play so much, and like they are so tired and need to play 30 minutes more, you know what I mean? And it's hot, and it's, you know what I mean? If you are in a basketball court in a maybe an NBA like stadium, is firstly it's like inside, so they have like condition, like, you know what I mean, everything like that. And if it's not going like to what you call it, it's like the same points, they just end it. They just play and just they end it in the last minute, and they're gonna, I don't know, they don't do like penalties when you're in football. You need to do penalties when you like in a way, maybe in the, like the what you call it, extra time. Is it ending in World Cup and like in the big what you call it, matches in like Champions League semifinals and like that? You need to play 30 minutes more, and if that is like 0-0, you're going to go to penalties when you're like tired, your mentally is like gone, and you need to be in like what you call it, the penalty area, and need to do a goal on a goalkeeper that is like maybe clearing the head and everything like that, and you need to score, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
immediately one game finishes, you're in preparation phase for the next game.
And for this World Cup in the US, Canada, and Mexico, change in altitude and climate could really be a factor.
The game could be in Mexico City 3 days after a game in Miami. So you're going from sea level to altitude. I've spoken with colleagues who are working at one of the countries who are playing a game in Mexico City, and they're exploring the idea of utilising portable hypoxic machines. So machines that actually will deliver air with the oxygen content that you would experience at the altitude of Mexico City.
Players are also playing with new teammates, new coaches, under the brightest lights of their career.
I'm not an expert from the neck up. I don't deal in psychology, I don't deal in stress. But the World Cup has to be the most psychologically demanding of tournaments that these people will play in. There is so much pressure on each and every person.
Now imagine it's the end of a game. You've basically run for 90 straight minutes. You're the
You're-
most exhausted you've ever been. You're
you're
feeling more
tired.
pressure than you've ever felt. And you need to remember the strategy and make split-second decisions that could affect the entire game. World Cup
Defending,
matches feel bigger because they
attacking.
My personal philosophy is a lot more that having fitness won't necessarily win you the game, but it will certainly lose it. There's a lot of research that looks at if a team can keep doing the high intensity movements, they're more likely to be successful. At the same time, if they can't kick a ball where they want to kick a ball, they won't score. So I think they go hand in hand.
The best players aren't just incredibly fit. They're adaptable and efficient.
You can't sprint the whole game. It's almost impossible.
They need to
And
be
there's a
smart.
lesson from how Brooklyn FC trains that us non-professional athletes can maybe adopt too.
I think the main takeaway might be to be very specific with what you're trying to do. Anyone can go out and run a 5K, for example. If you're very specific with what you're trying to do, you might find a whole lot more returns.
Do you think I showed promise as a player?
That finish in the first goal was pretty good. Not many keepers are getting a hand on that.
Okay, that's like the what you call level of American football, soccer that you guys see. That he said he's good. I don't know about that.
That's awesome. Cut there. That's it.
Oh, lovely video. In last of the day, I think football is not the most like in demanding in the way of you need to have the best we call it in like it's English we say in Swedish condition. So you don't have the most like you need to run the most and like you need to have the same level of run every time, you know what I mean? But you need to be clear in your head in the same way you need to communicate with your feet and with teammates and talk, and need to be more, you need to be smart how the other players are going to play and how you're going to defend, and when you defend how you're going to take the run and how you're going to like don't take a run and like jog and like in this way, in this time I'm going to run, in this time I'm going to not run. So it's like you need to be really like careful with your how much energy you have, you know what I mean? And you need to choose when you need to use it and not use it. So it's like it's hard because sometimes you want to run and take that ball, but you need to be smart and say, okay, I need to back up and like be calm, and in this time I'm gonna take the run and I'm gonna run against the goal, and like, and when you do that you can be more smarter, and more, maybe the other team and the defender is maybe tired because they have done too much like long balls, and now you can do that run and take the long ball and like run against the goal and do a goal, you know what I mean? So you need to be smart. So that's the difference. But I think it's one of the most hardest sports, and most as they are like up there with the, you know, with other things, but football is there. Yeah, so yeah, W video.
Yeah. Yeah. 435 days wasted with you and I'll never get it back. But now that I got you out of my face, think I'm going crazy, had to tell a whole back up. I ain't running on the track, but you better stay between the lines, won't catch us. Catch up, put the lemon in the pepper. I really get the whipping shit, I'm feeling like a chef. What? I could never let nobody else in now. I don't trust nobody, everybody lying, what's up? She a baddie, then I turn into a friend now. No, I never love you, so I'm probably gonna mess up. I know it was a war with you, baby, why did you tell me that I should rest up? I don't wanna sit and bicker with the argument. Why the fuck you always lying